Enough. That's all I gotta say on this. Please. Enough. Leave theory alone.
I am so tired. I'm so tired of trying to be so nice to people. Man, I don't care if you don't like what I have to say. Don't watch my videos. I'm not here for them. I'm here for me. I'm here for Star Wars, George Lucas, and to protect the legacy because, quite frankly, dude, I'm the only one that keeps doing it. This was really an exceptional ending. And I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I would even go as far as saying, I don't see episode 8 as being in the canon timeline. I see 7 and 9. And it was a beautiful ending to the sequel trilogy. And, so far as doing the entire saga, sure, it wrapped it nicely in the end. And it left me with a good feeling. I'm happy. I really loved it. And I shouldn't be made to feel like I can't say that I loved it. Fence rider? Oh, how am I a fence rider? Okay, don't get me wrong. I liked Andor. I liked it. It was a good show. It was fine. It was cozy. It was also extremely boring and made me fall asleep a million times while I was watching it. But it was still a good show. Whatever, I enjoyed it. Just sleepy time, okay? Like, you want to put to sleep? You watch Andor. Made by George, by the real Lucasfilm. And the thing is, they can bring that back. I know they can. They can bring Star Wars back. They're just got their heads too far up their asses. They just don't, they're not hiring the right people. They have the wrong people freaking governing everything. You get someone competent who knows the characters and respects the characters. You get Jon Favreau and Dave. Why didn't Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni do the Kenobi show? Why didn't they do all shows? I mean, okay, Andor was fine. Sam Witwer and Dave Filoni. I mean, these are two guys that, like, you can't be luckier finding talent like this and having them be loyal to the brand and having them work for the brand. I mean, honestly, at this point, you would be a fool to not be hiring the two of them to work together to create everything going forwards. Tired of this. Greenlight 1313. Greenlight The Force Unleashed 3.
The original saga was about the father, the children, and the grandchildren. And I mean, that's not a secret to anybody. It's even in the novels and everything. But
it's a funny thing, having been here a while and actually telling Star Wars stories. I'm in a very odd, unique position, which is that there's this notion that everything changed and when everything became Legends, and I can see why people think that. But having worked with George, I can tell you that it was always very clear, and he made it very clear, that the films and the TV shows were the only thing that he considered canon. That was it. Mm-hmm. So everything else was a world of fun ideas, exciting characters, great possibilities, but the EU was created to explore all those things. And I know, and I fully respect people's opinion about it, that some of the material said the next canon part of it, okay, but from the filmmaking world that I was brought into, the TV series, the films were it. Mm-hmm. They were set in stone. So it was not a big change for me when everyone was saying everything's Legend status now. I'm like, yeah, that's what I've always understood. It's all
the original saga was about the father, the children, and the grandchildren. And I mean, that's not a secret to anybody. It's even in the novels and everything. But
so essentially, before George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney, there was what he perceived as true Star Wars, which was the first 6 films and the Clone Wars, and that was it. That is Star Wars. To him, that is the only Star Wars that exists. Outside of that is what we consider Legends. That is not canon. So outside of that would be the games, the comics, any other sort of memorabilia or stories or whatever it might be. That's considered Legends. So they're made by Lucasfilm, but they're not what George would consider to be his story, the story. He signs off on a lot of them, a lot of the things that are done and said, right? But they're not what he considers to be Star Wars, which is 1 to 6 and the Clone Wars.
he's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm gonna take you out, and she did, and I'm all for it. And she looked strong. He's supposed to be this great guy, wiped out all these people. I don't know. She took that lightsaber and was like, I'm gonna take you out, And she did, and I'm all for it. And she looked strong.
It's about good and evil in us, as well as our institutions. So, and the idea that some of us think we're really great people, but in the real world we're not. We're terrible people.
Or you can make bad choices.
Well, you make bad choices, but you run your life in a very selfish way, and you think you're doing good when you're actually not. And at the same time, it's how do democracies turn back into dictatorships? Why do people who have the power to have the freedom and everything turn it over to somebody who's going to take it all away from them? It's happened through history forever and ever, and all Star Wars is a way of updating that idea to say, watch out, because there are people out there who don't play by the rules, and if you're not careful, you're going to lose all your freedom. And at the same time, those people who may not play by the rules because they're selfish and greedy turn themselves into evil people who don't care about other people.